Hey folks, Jonathan here. Wanted to show you this press that is on Craigslist here. Listed in Raleigh, Durham under heavy equipment, but you see it's moving, no place to take, free as long as you move ASAP. And ASAP is definitely us. So I'm going to go get this thing, and a friend of mine called me about it, and he's already set it up. He was actually going to get it himself, and he couldn't go, so he told me if I wanted it, go get it, and it's mine. So I'm going to load up and roll out, and we'll get her loaded, and I'll show you when I get back. About 112 miles away to pick up a punch press that was it was actually listed on Craigslist for free, and just had to be out quick because the guy was moving. And I didn't actually see that. A friend of mine seen it, and he couldn't make it to go get it, so he called me and let me know that he had actually already called the guy and set it up, and so it worked out really good. And everybody knows me and old machines. I kind of addicted to them, I guess, so I just couldn't pass it up. And what do I need it for? Probably don't need it, but want and need is two different things, and I just wanted it. So anyway, let me show you a few things about it. The guy didn't know a lot about it. He did have it hooked up and was using it, you know, from time to time. His name's Bill, really nice fellow, and in Tobaccoville, North Carolina is where he was at. But I don't think there's anything wrong with the machine. It's you know, it was set up and power hooked to it. It's got a nice gearbox on it, and which you don't see that very often. Usually the motor's connected directly to the belt, so I don't know what speed it is or anything. I hadn't checked. And it actually came with a phase converter, and now it's a homemade phase converter, but it's a static converter. And you can see the way that it's wired with two wires. The reason they done that is they use this switch up here to go back and trip the relay to turn it on in the box. So they had to run two wires, but it's a pretty simple setup. You know, I could hook it just to 220 single phase right into that box, or I can go 220 3-phase and come right into this box and take the phase converter off. So either way would work fine. Kind of a tough time getting it out from where it was in a building, and there was a tree about 6 feet in front of the building, and a big holly, looked like a holly tree, and it, you know, pokey and hard to, actually couldn't get in front of the building. Had to winch it out and turn it and spin it around, and you know, the building was probably about 8 or 10 inches off the ground, so made it a pain. But it says number 19, Brooklyn, New York, and it says Bliss on it. I'm not familiar with this company or this machine, but we will find out and check it out. Don't really have any history on it other than he bought it along with some some old brakes, and I think he had a finger brake, a regular brake, and then he had a shear, and done a little sheet metal work here and there. But it actually came with a couple sets of dies, but I'll show you what I've got. Okay, kind of a weird setup here. Never seen anything like this, but this is an aluminum die that's homemade, and I guess this is what he was pushing into it. And from what I'm understanding, this is just rubber right here, you know, good hard rubber, but what I understand is he was making little candle holders, and you put the piece on, press this down through it, and you know, it beveled the edges around, and I guess made a candle holder. And then he's got a bigger one here that he was doing something with about the same way, I guess. But just homemade stuff, homemade dies, but came with some plates and some, you know, odds and ends. And then there's two regular dies that you know, there's some pieces missing for them and stuff, but I mean, they could be used to make some stuff. But he sent along everything he had that was with it anyway. But like I said, couldn't pass it up, and it's not a real big machine. You know, this one here, the other one's 5 ton that I've got, so I'm guessing this one might be a, you know, 10 ton, maybe maybe a little bit bigger than that, but you know, we'll do something with it one way or the other. And I've you know, got some ideas on it too. Just having time's the problem, but you know, I didn't want to see it get junked, and I'm sure a lot of the people that was contacting him about it, and he said he actually had 2 contact him today about it, but I'm sure the people that was getting a hold of him about it was well, not all of them, but I mean, bound to have been some scrap guys too, I'm sure, with it being free. But it's definitely not going to the scrap. We'll find a place for it, and we'll eventually do something with it. All right, appreciate everybody watching. Bye.